All right, we've been going really long, so we got 3 things to recap, and we'll try to keep them short, but we won't.
Yeah.
Let's go in ascending order of heaviness, and start with Harvey. It was so cute!
Harvey books.
This one
Night
was
Maid.
super cute.
Night Maid. Night Maid. Ooh, that one.
I just like how the entire town just got really lazy and just
They took advantage of a little boy's kind heart and just
These
fucking
people are
threw
so
garbage
shitty.
everywhere.
Yeah, even at the end, the guy was like going to do it again. Like, oh yeah, I forgot. We're not doing that.
Fucking guy.
oh, Harvey's so precious.
So cute. I loved his somersault.
Oh yes,
With his
yes. This one was written and boarded by Madeline Flores, who also wrote and boarded an episode of Adventure Time, Little Dude, the one where Shelby's butt becomes his own guy, voiced by Thurb Van Orman.
Oh yeah.
And if it's, I asked her about that last SBX, and she said that it was contract work, and I assume that's probably what it is for this, but I should send her a tweet. You know, she's good, and she had a great handle on the characters.
Yeah.
I like how the show doesn't care about gender, and he calls himself a maid. He's cleaning up. Fuck it. It's a good show.
Best show. So cute.
So the Steven was When It Rains, boarded by Katie Mytroff and Lamar Abrams. A direct follow-up to the previous episode, picking off more or less right after it.
Mm-hmm.
In it, the gems are like, well, we're not going to get any more out of this jerk-off, so we'll just go do something else. And in it starts thunderstorming, and Paradox like, fuck, it's happening, we're all gonna die. It's cute, and like Steven has a mug that says Steven, but it's spelled with a PH. That was my favorite little detail. We talked about it in our retrospective. It's like, you would bring that name to Greg, and he'd be like, why did you spell, who's Stephen? So in it, we go back to the kindergarten again, because the skeptic in me says that it's like, well, those were really, really detailed backgrounds. We're going to reuse them.
I mean, it's an important location.
It's a really sweet location. I love the kindergarten.
And we learn about the cluster, and it is we were very close with our prediction in the last episode. That
You're
it's
pretty much right.
Yeah, it's a massive cluster of gem shards that after the homeworld abandoned its attempt to colonize the planet, they did that to as like weapons research and to get rid of this rebel planet. Mm-hmm. And we learned that Peridot is not like deep in this plan. She was just doing like some clerical work.
Mm-hmm.
She was just following orders.
Oh, well, okay. Well, what I'm saying is she's not
gonna blow up the Earth.
She's not the mastermind by any regard.
Yeah. Although I think the one thing we didn't anticipate was like Peridot legit was like, oh, it's going to be much bigger than the Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, well, then what's it gonna do? It's just gonna be floating there in space.
Maybe the homeworld will come pick it up. Once it hatches. Like an egg.
Do what with it?
Fight, conquer planets.
And at the end, Peridot's like, oh, fine, I'll tell you the thing. You crystal phlegms. And
the cutest thing was like Peridot like grew to like Steven because of course everybody likes Steven. He's infectious.
He's a parasite.
Like the scene with the rain, you know.
Yeah.
It was really
She's
sweet.
Like,
yeah.
Cool.
And, you know, she felt it, and she was like, huh, okay. And, like, she started trusting Steven, and was like, Steven, with your knowledge of Earth and my brilliance, we can stop it together.
And Steven's just like, I don't know anything.
Well, you said your dad taught you, we'll just talk to this dad person. And Steven's like,
oh. Just, like, even more concerned, like, that's a worse plan.
Yeah.
You know, the holding the hands thing was super cute.
Aww, when they fall off the cliff.
Yeah. The cutest thing, though, was Garnet's like, and Steven, one more thing. Yeah? What? I love you. And that hand,
that
heart.
got me. I was like, ooh!
Baby slappy, like, oh, so cute.
Just out of fucking nowhere. And, like, that's one thing I'm interested about is, like, how meta is Garnet's development? Is it just the writers being more open to having her express, or is it her legitimately becoming more expressive, and is there a reason for that?
It could be both.
I mean, probably. But...
I mean, that's how these things grow, right?
Yeah.
It would be boring if she stayed the same.
Yeah, no, totally. But I'm just like, because it feels, because like that was so out of nowhere and had no context.
Yeah,
it's
like
just like, wow,
Pearl
that was a thing. Yeah. Well, Pearl's a nerd.
Oh,
Pearl's a wiener. I love how like season one, it's like, oh, Pearl's the mom. It's like, no, she's just their pet bird.
Well, compared to Parasyte, she's not as nearly as a wiener. Nerd wiener.
Yeah. Oh, Parasyte's so fun.
Yeah.
I bet her actress is like, I will never do anything as fun as this.
We get to see them interact in the next episode.
Yeah.
The barn.
Which is back to the barn.
So exciting. I'm loving this arc. Like, every time one of these episodes ends, I'm like, no! Where did the time go? Oh, Parasyte is just really fun to watch. She's a great TV character.
Yeah.
Right. And let's talk about Rick and Morty. And this is gonna probably be some shit.
Oh boy.
So this is a season finale, and we're not gonna do a season 2 retrospective for this show because we've already literally talked about every episode.
Yeah.
The Rick and Morty finale. Do we want to do full synopsis, or do we want to just get into, like, the shit?
It's honestly a pretty simple, like, I think it was a pretty ABC episode for how crazy it was. It's pretty quick to summarize.
Yeah, it felt like...
It didn't feel like it was 20 minutes.
Yeah,
No.
well, I mean, they could have... The first half of it could have been stretched out into its own episode if they didn't want that to be the finale. You know, Bird Person gets married, and...
Or he's having his wedding.
He's having his wedding.
Rick and his family.
Yeah, you know, Rick is like, but weddings are stupid, I don't love anybody. And eventually he's like getting used to opening up, and it turns out the wedding is a sting operation. The bride is a Galactic Federation agent. Bird Person gets gunned down. Possibly Squanchy too.
Yeah, probably.
And, you know, the Smiths barely escape, and now they're fugitives. And they can't return to Earth. So they look for a new place to settle. They find 3 Earth-like planets outside of Galactic Federation territory. One that's really small. One where everything is on the cob.
And it's just the worst.
And then... one where it's the only... The only thing wrong with it is that the sun...
The only thing...
is constantly doing a Justin Roiland scream for the 42-hour day. So they live on the small planet.
Because the Cobb world is off the table.
Even though it has, like, a lot of food. And it's so dumb.
It's not like it wasn't as funny as it is now.
It's like the Teletubby son, but the worst. Oh fuck! All right. And
so it sucks.
So the thing that what Rick decides to do is that for the well-being of his family, he turns himself in so that they can safely return to Earth, who has in the meantime been incorporated into the Galactic Federation. So there's alienoids all over the goddamn place. At the end, Jerry gets a job, and Rick is put into the maximum securityist jail in the galaxy.
For breaking every law.
Yeah. This is us revisiting more of what we hadn't seen in a few episodes of Rick as a fundamentally broken, parasitic person. What I feel like the central theme of this show is the opposite end of the coin to ignorance is bliss, which is to say that knowledge is misery. Because ignorance is bliss, this show doesn't really touch, except, I guess, implicitly. But the theme of it is, Rick is, he says he's the smartest person in the universe, and he might be. He's certainly one of them. And he's utterly miserable. He really lost a lot of his humanity through this quest for knowledge that he's gone through. And one thing I was thinking about after I watched this episode and was having a smoke is that his relationship with Morty is kind of a lot of different things. On the surface, I truly believe that on the surface, the reason why he has Morty tag along is because of the opposite brainwave thing that allows him to camouflage. I truly believe that he was just using him as a shield in the beginning.
Yeah.
In the beginning,
Yeah. But I do think that, as he's starting to take him under his wing, it's a bit of like an idealized Batman and Robin situation where, like, there was a line in Young Justice where Wonder Woman accuses Batman of taking Robin under his wing to make him just like Batman, to which Batman responds, I did it so that he wouldn't be just like me. And at this point, as Rick is observing what Morty is going through and how Morty is, as Morty gains more knowledge and more worldliness, how he's inevitably becoming more like Rick, he's doing everything he can to prevent that from happening. And this was the culmination of that, where he acknowledged that, like, he had to remove himself from the picture because everything about him is so toxic to other people that he had to, he's been on the run for a long time. That's why, he had left Beth and their mom. So at this point, he has to give up running. He's been running forever, and he's like, if I keep doing this, I'm going to not only hurt, but, like, psychologically destroy everyone I've loved. Like, it's already happened with Beth. Beth has this complex about her father, where the most important thing to her is keeping him in his life, although there's no reason. There's no benefit. Yeah, he sucks.
That's the conversation they have when Rick is, discovering the South Pole. Jerry's like, why do we care about this person? We have no reason to. And, both Summer and Morty obviously are on Beth's side, and it's like, we don't love him because we get something out of it. That's not how love works. We just love him. Beth is, she tears up and she's like, because I don't want him to leave again, you fucking asshole. Like, why don't you understand? Summer and Morty become kind of Morty is a little bit more hardened at this point.
Yeah, but what he says to Rick is, if you leave, I'll be fine. Whatever. Fuck you. But you'll break my mom's heart, and I'll never forgive you for that. And the show has a bit of an ambiguity about who's right about, between Jerry and Beth, because, like, Beth and the kids, like, their thing is very sentimental, whereas Jerry's is very logical. And it's up to the viewer entirely to decide who's right about it. And I'm not sure who I think is right.
Neither do I, because it's like...
when I'm not in this kind of situation, I tend to go for the more logical answer, but, like,
Rick does care about them. Like, he says that he doesn't, but he does, in his own Rick way. Despite all his best efforts, he does. He loves his family.
Yep.
Yeah. So the stinger is that Mr. Poopy Butthole watched that thing and is, like, talking to the cameras like, how are they gonna even write season 3? And I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it was very, like, it sounded like Justin Roiland having a panic attack about the corner that he wrote himself into.
Yeah, it's like they wrote it, maybe they wrote it before they knew they were gonna get a third season. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was still up in the air, because, like, this could be the conclusion of the show if they wanted it to be a real fucking downer.
Which I'm sure they do, because it's them.
Yeah. So, I really have...
third season a year and a half from now, or more. Who
knows?
Yeah, I have...
Just rolling around on his pizza. I love Mr. Poopy Butthole.
I do too.
I love him too. I was really sad that he threw away that pizza and those cheesy bites, though. What a waste.
He'll eat them off the floor.
The cat will eat it. The cat will eat it.
The one thing that, like, stuck in my head immediately, it was like, okay, so Rick is stuck in high security prison. He can't drink.
Oh, man. He's gonna get so hungover.
He's gonna be sober for the first time, like, ever.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
And maybe he'll Hulk out or something, and that'll be the thing.
If they do stage some kind of crazy rescue to break him out, they're gonna meet him, and he's probably not even gonna be the same person, because he doesn't have any booze. He's never not drunk. What kind of character is he without?
He's the hardest working liver in the universe.
What kind of character is he without booze? I don't know. That's something they'd have to figure out.
Let's write that spec script.
They'll just have him make bathtub hooch. Or toilet hooch.
He can't move.
Anyway, so that's Rick and Morty. Okay, we gotta wrap it up. Yeah, let's make the shouts really quick. This is one of those times, guys.
There's a lot of shouts, though.
We're gonna pare them down this week for our own sake. We might come back to you next week, guys, but like we're running really long.
Okay, well, we had some wonderful shouts.
Yeah.
Grandparent said, love the show, love what we do, thank you so much. I was wondering if we would ever watched a cartoon called Spliced. Apparently it aired on Teletoon. They think it's criminally underrated. Would we be willing to do it? I've never heard of Spliced.
It's Teletoon.
I guess it's Canadian.
So it's probably not I'm sure it has some. I have no faith in Teletoon. 16 was okay.
Was it even okay?
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
It's pretty okay.
Compared to everything fucking else they make, ooh-wee, it was massive. Like the pizza guy.
We had somebody who we're not going to mention by name because we're going to call him out a little bit, who kind of spoiled the end of the Rick and Morty thing for us. Keep in mind, guys, that because of our schedules, we rarely watch stuff on TV as it airs. We usually watch it later in the week through, as much as we can, legitimate sources.
We're flattered that you think we're the kind of people to be 100% on top of everything all the time, though.
I physically can't. I mean, that's Sunday night. I have class the next day. That's my thesis. I have 3 classes the next day. I can't do that. So,
moving forward, please be careful of, bringing us spoilers, like, especially right after something airs. Give it a little time and keep it vague.
Just keep it, honestly, just be sure to try to be as spoiler free as possible if you're gonna do something super duper recent.
Lantern King just sent us a lovely email about how listening to their podcasts really helped them get over a really tough summer that they had, and they just wanted to thank us for that. And I read that at work and I almost cried. I was like, I'm so happy I helped somebody. Oh, you're so cool. I'm so glad.
You guys are the best.
Oh man, Jimmy,
Eater of Worlds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sent us another really lovely email. Said that he was so glad that he watched Tatami Galaxy, so glad that he watched Fillmore. Basically thanking us for what we do, and also suggesting Gunbuster.
Ha-ha! Now the ball is in Tooch's court.
What do I do with this ball? You're like Coach Z.
Throw it at your fucking head because I reviewed Gunbuster on my podcast that I do with my friend Devin, Metrospective. It was like one of our earlier episodes, and we even did the sequel Diebuster. So watch Metrospective. It's basically Toon Goons with even less form. So yeah, check it. Do that.
James Zero is me, our buddy. Sent us an amazing email.
Yeah, we last episode, Fillmore, we talked about Laurel K. Hamilton and her books, Anita Blake and Mary Gentry. And this glorious motherfucker has read these books.
And, I loved this email.
And explained a lot of it in detail. We may share some of this in detail, but
it's glorious.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just
there are books in this series called A Lick of Frost and Swallowing Darkness. Both of those are characters.
And like, okay, I know that you wrote this to us to get us to like not read them. Oh, I gotta. Now I super gotta.
Oh my god. Josh had some spoopy questions to ask us. If we were going to dress up for Halloween, if so, what? And if not, what were some of our favorite costumes from before?
Like for like, our own costumes?
Yeah, Halloween costumes that we've done.
Hooey.
Are you guys doing anything this year?
I never know what I'm doing for Halloween until like a week before.
I
usually
know a month in advance. I have no clue what I'm doing.
If I do get invited to something, I've got Amazon Prime. I'm just gonna go as Ryu from Street Fighter. You just buy a karate uniform, and like my hair is the right color, and I know how to pronounce his attacks, so I can just do that.
Oh man, I should give you my Ryu officially licensed Capcom Ryu headband that I have.
Oh, you should. That would really pull it together. Yeah, I would do Ryu because like I would just wear that and like flip flops because he's barefoot. I'm not gonna do that.
I'm trying to pull something together. Me and my friends are thinking about doing a group Monster High cosplay.
Do it.
I want to. I can't sew, you guys. I can't make costumes. I'm bad at it.
See, my rule is that it's gotta be super simple, and it's gotta be, like, comfortable and not an ordeal for me to wear all day.
You gotta be able to thrift that shit.
Yeah.
So, like,
I'm running out of time.
I can just wear a karate outfit, and it's not a big deal. What about you, Tooch?
That's why all of my cosplays for the last few years have just been duders in suits.
But one of my favorite costumes I've ever done in the past, because when I was in high school, I was fucking, like, crazy about my Halloween costumes. They were very elaborate. But one of my favorites was I was a witch, but a witch that had been trialed. So I was kind of dressed up in, like, a kind of pilgrimy outfit, and I carried around this giant fucking, like, hangman's noose that I made. Like, I nailed some wood together to, like, make the post, and got some, like, real-ass industrial rope, and tied it to the thing, and, like, carried it around and had it on my neck.
That was your whole night.
It was awesome. Everybody loved it.
In the words of Nikki, that's your whole day.
It was awesome, though.
The advantage of Halloween, like when you're trick-or-treating, you're constantly moving, so you're never in the way. Which is my other...
Yeah, and you stop every house. Also, he asked, do you record the show within the week, or do you plan in advance?
I'm not exactly sure what you're asking there, but we record and edit it in the same week, but we plan watching the show way ahead so we can build up a buffer of watching stuff, because some stuff we used to try to watch everything in the week, and then that was impossible after a certain point. Mm-hmm. After we started doing longer things. Because in the beginning, most of our stuff was actually really short.
Yep.
Yeah. But I never got to talk about my favorite past Halloween costumes.
Oh, sorry, Tucci.
Because it's it was my favorite holiday, and like before I knew cosplay was a thing, I was like, that's why when I first figured out about cosplaying, I was like, wait, you can just do this like year round? Fuck, I'm down. And then I went to several anime conventions and was like, ooh, there's no candy.
What was your favorite?
My favorite was Jeez, I don't even. I think one of my favorites, because it was the first thing I got really, really involved in. I was Ash from the Evil Dead series, specifically his Army of Darkness look.
Oh, with the chainsaw arm.
Yeah, well, no. The chainsaw arm was Evil Dead 2. In Evil Dead, in Army of Darkness, he gets finds this because he gets thrust back in time to medieval times. Honestly, it's not a horror movie at that point. It's a crazy sword and sorcery action adventure.
It's Resident Evil.
Scary.
It's like, it's gross and there's blood, but it's not scary.
By the way, it's really goofy.
If you played Resident Evil 4, the Ganados are just the tentacles coming out of the head. That's just Parasyte. They rip that off wholesale.
But so, like, I got his outfit, which, again, really simple, blue button-up shirt, brown pants, boots, but, like, I got a shotgun, and I got his fucking boomstick, and I needed, like, I actually made, like, a holster, like, a back holster for it out. Like, we went to, like, Joann Fabrics and shit and glued that shit together, and I covered myself in fake blood. And I took a glove because like his chainmail armor hand was like super beefy and dumb looking. So I just took a puffy winter glove and spray painted that shit silver. It was dope. I liked it.
Nice.
I'm gonna watch the shit out of the Evil Dead TV series that Showtime's airing this year. It's gonna be great.
Cool.
Oh man. At Captain Juggy says, "Ooh man, Toon Goons did Disney's Fillmore, one of the best Disney cartoon shows. Yes, we did, and it is one of the best." At Victor's Neba said, "Hey guys, thanks for the Fillmore episode. Been rewatching it. Cheers from Brazil. Cheers back to you." At Eric Radman, "Thanks to the Toon Goons for introducing me to Over the Garden Wall. It's a masterpiece. It is required viewing if you like stuff that is good." Wonderful.
Did we really break the news that Over the Garden Wall is a thing?
Yeah, that's what's crazy to me.
I feel honored. But also, where you been? Bro, where you been?
I don't know. At Seaweed Queen says, "I was thinking of revisiting old episodes to compile a list of the best Toon Goons quotes. Would you be interested in this? Go for it."
Please?
I responded, actually, as soon as I saw it 3 billion times, yes.
Also the t-shirt ideas.
Because we're not gonna.
I've actually been considering maybe it's time to start listening to the old episodes. It's been long enough, and like we're pretty funny.
Well, honestly, yeah. From the clips I hear, like the goofs I hear searching around for the stops in our sections, yeah, we're pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, and like I forget half of the shit we say anyway, so I'm like, oh.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
At Croft Ant 2 said, "You're going to love this," and sent us a link to an AMV that mixed Cowboy Bebop with the Danger-esque theme song from Homestar Runner, which was delightful.
Yep.
Thank you. And of course, at Blue T32, April May has the revival of the Nikki drinking game in time for Halloween.
So, yeah, one of the things to take a drink is whenever I talk about dreams, and I had one, it's literally this one sentence, is that I dreamt that the currency in Canada was called the Canadian Euro. And I've been thinking about that all day, and that's like the funniest thing I've ever come up with, but I technically didn't do that.
Anytime you have a weird dream, can you just contextlessly summarize it at the very end of an episode, like a final Yahoo question?
Yeah. I also promise if I'm going to describe a dream to you, it's going to be one sentence.
Yeah.
Like the last one was, "I stole Donald Trump's dog." That's the whole thing.
And, we got a lot of people on SoundCloud voicing off. Thank you so much for your responses. We're starting to get to a point where there's a lot, and we're kind of pressed for time, but I do read everything, and I'm thankful for everything. Dante 4973 said, "Gayest episode so far, and I fickin' love it." I'm glad.
That was regard to Korra finale.
Yeah.
And before that he did "God damn" after the I went back to listen to what point it was, and it was it Tooch's thing or was it my thing? It was my thing about about the gross comic that I want them to make.
Yep. I didn't listen back, but when you said that the comment was "goddamn," I already knew just this second exactly what part he said that, because it's my favorite goof.
Your goof was really good too, dude.
What was it?
Most Wonderful Time of the Queer.
Oh right,
that song was beautiful.
I practiced that.
Yeah, we love you guys so much. You have no idea, this is a lot of work for all of us.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's killing me.
It's really hard. It's killing you.
Hooey.
It's really hard, but man, you guys make it so worth it. You're great.
All right.
You're the great. You're so great. I love you.
You can find us on iTunes, rate and subscribe us. Our main website is our Tumblr, thetoongoons.tumblr.com. On there you can find all the other ways to contact us. Nina, who made the Facebook?
Nina did.
Nina made a Facebook so that now you can link it to your grandma. And, and I should put out the email, which is, thetoongoons@gmail.com. I don't have Facebook anymore. Tooch, do you?
I have it so my relatives won't ask me why I don't have Facebook.
Good.
Honestly, a lot of college kids use Facebook still, so I thought
Like,
it would be a
Twitch-
worthwhile thing to do.
I got a new, like, I upgraded my computer, and, like, I went in to just idly check Facebook like I do, but it was like, uh-oh, this is a new computer, you need to log in, and I don't remember my login information, so I went, this is fine, and so I'm never going on.
Also, Nina, like, Tooch has been out of college for 2 years. I've been out of college for, like, 9 years.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about our fans.
All right.
Our potential fans.
Okay, yeah, I mean, if you think it'll work.
If you want to make a Facebook group, if that's still a thing, I don't know.
No,
we
that's
just
what
have a-
that's what
we
she
have
did.
A page. We have a page.
Oh, I don't know how Facebook works.
Oh, actually,
Man.
and here's the
Toon
other thing: is
Goons
that the last
has
time
an official page. It's just called. It's facebook.com/the Toon Goons podcast, I think, or the Toon Goons. I don't know. It's easy. You can find it. Like us, I guess. I don't know. Right
do
now,
Facebook things on it.
we'll do Facebook things on it. Right now, I'm posting just all the fall stuff. I might do a throwback Thursday tomorrow because people do those still. So, you know,
all right.
internet.
Next,
got a lot of traffic on it.
okay, next week, Hotel Transylvania. The week after that, Danny Phantom. All right. We've gotta finish. I've been Nikki.
I've been Nina.
And I am still the Parasyte. Ed, Edd and Eddy was the last animated series to switch over to digital coloring. Courage the Cowardly Dog released a short in 2014 where Eustace was voiced by Wallace Shawn of Toy Story and Princess Bride fame. Tom Kenny developed his SpongeBob voice by imitating surly elf actors during Christmas, saying, "If it wasn't for the Christmas shit, you know I would never fucking work."
I'm gonna need you to rattle those back to me off the air. Thank you for tuning in.